I'm going to be teaching a submission because that's like the only thing that I really like to do anyway. Start pressing anything, I'm just like, I have testosterone in my veins. That's awesome. That's amazing. She got a whole new game plan. What's up, guys? We are here at Girls In Gis. Finally, we've made it. It is actually St. Patrick's Day as well, so some of us are wearing green. I'm definitely not, but I had socks on earlier. Anyway, Girls In Gis is an amazing charity that gives back to women and girls in jiu-jitsu, helps them get started in jiu-jitsu and train. So they have these events all over the place, and we have 100+ women signed up to come in today. We actually had to cap it. It got so full, but they give back to the community in a really special way. Me, my mom, and my sister are all going to be teaching at it, so we're volunteering our time to teach, and then we have an open mat. So it's like half teaching, half open mat. Huge, amazing event, great organization. I've been going to these since I was like a green belt or an orange belt. So I went to one way back in the day. We hosted one here when I was like 12 or 13. And we really come full circle. So really excited to have a fun day here. We're gonna teach, we're gonna play some games, we're gonna train. And there's also some really badass women here too. So I'm excited to get some like super tough training in. And I'll see you guys when we get started. There are so many of us here. We're gonna do our best to get warm without getting too crazy or getting too injured. Well, we're not gonna get injured at all, I think that. But I'm not gonna be too crazy, not getting like toes stepped on, anything like that. Okay, so as we go through the warm-up, this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna have 3 lines over here. Don't do anything yet, I'll let you know. But we're gonna have 3 lines over here. We're gonna do some movements down the mat. We're gonna run back on the side of the mat, and then we're gonna go back in our line like a regular flow. A lot of our kids' classes do this, so you guys will be you'll be right at home. We're each going to teach a couple of techniques. We're going to start on the bottom, so we're going to get a little bit of everything today. So Professor Holly is going to be teaching from the closed guard. Emma is going to be teaching a little bit of passing, and then I'm going to be teaching a submission because that's like the only thing that I really like to do anyway. It's just tap people out.
Some might say this is my favorite.
Yes.
Honestly,
It is.
if you see all the statistics, these days it's like the rear naked choke. Like if we were going to do a lot of you guys are competing and seasoned grapplers, but for self-defense, I like this one a lot. It's kind of old school. So many of you have seen variations of it. But yeah, like the rear naked choke, I was torn.
She really wanted to choke us, that's why.
But here we go, instead. Okay, so here we go. Lock, pistol, figure 4, break. Break her posture, swim under as high as I can, pass the lapel, and get my second hand position.
Grab the hair.
And try to watch out for the hair. And then, after that, we have a lot of submissions from there.
You can grab the lapel. You see it? Yeah, you got it. I'll move the hair. Hair everywhere. That's it. You got it. That's it. Let's switch, okay? I'm wrapping behind already. What side? So we are gonna do a double underpass and then also an over underpass. The double underpass, we're gonna be here. The over under, the only difference is same kind of idea, but I've just got one arm under the leg, one arm over, hence the over under name. A lot of you have probably seen this position before. I've used this a lot of times and then learned from really smart people about ways to tweak it and be a little better about it, things like that. So I'm going to show you my newest version of it that I use in my own game, like a lot, so you can adapt it for yours. So we'll do the double under first. So I'm going to come in, grab the belt here. Now this part is really important. I'm going to come up like this.
up on my knees and bring my hips up really nice, almost like a deadlift. And when we do that, I'm gonna pull from my lower abdomen and not from my back. I don't want to see you like curling up. We don't want to go home with any hurt backs here. So
That's why she wanted you to do the leapfrog game.
yes, and also for the person on bottom, which Kendall will see very soon.
Oh gosh.
So be nice to your partners. But yeah, so make sure we're pulling. If you have a partner on bottom and you're having a hard time getting them up, your partner can also lift their hips a little bit to help you. It definitely can be a bit challenging when you're first learning this position. So if we're coming from here, I'm gonna come up, lift Kendall, and I wanna be really strong here. Again, I'm pulling from my abdomen, and I'm feeling really comfy here. Then from this position, she's probably gonna be more like that, feeling comfy. Yeah. Now from this position, I'm gonna pick a side. So I like stepping up on my right side, mainly because I'm more comfortable passing to the right. So when we're here, I'm gonna go straight for this lapel, and then start to reinforce with my left leg. The important thing here with my left leg, it's not just kind of absent. I really want to make sure, sorry, you fell. I really want to make sure that I'm almost switching, sorry. I'm almost from this position, I'm almost switching to this, where this leg, although it's not really back here, so I'm not doing like this lunge position, it switches so that this part of my leg is still reinforcing the hold that I have on her hips. So when I come here, again, we're gonna lift up, really strong here. I'm gonna pick a side and I'm gonna come here, and again, this leg is reinforcing things here. One really important part of this is I wanna make her as uncomfortable as possible.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm letting her go now just to not make her sit there while I talk. But don't let them go.
She really likes it, actually.
One thing that Sensei Shanji Hibero told me about this position is really you should be choking them here, and they're gonna let you pass to give up the choke. So if I'm here in this position, don't be afraid to really get your forearm into their neck. I mean, you've got this grip on their lapel. In theory, you really are choking them, and they're gonna give up the position in order to not tap out. Yeah, stay alive. And then the final note I'll say here is Kendall's being really nice and fully kind of going over for me. Sorry. But I really do like to reinforce and grab the belt here. If the belt's not available, you can grab the top of the pants as well. But I grab the belt and I'll lift. And sometimes I'll even end up in this kind of, I guess, I don't know what you call this, like a squat position. Oh my God. And pull here. And then we'll just drive and pull her over. So, not a very
You guys all got it, right? You don't need to see
And I'm lifting with my strong abs and my legs. Coming here, I'm picking a side. I'm gonna come to this lapel. Immediately, I'm already starting to think that I'm choking her. This leg's gonna come back and reinforce. I might lift, get in this squat position. And by now, she really should be in this squat position. And at this point, they're just gonna kind of shift her weight this way. And then end up in side moves. Yeah, and then circle around. And I will even probably circle around back here.
And I was like, it's called the Kendall-Cana. So I got very excited. So then I thought nothing of it, okay, went on my merry way. But then all of a sudden I started getting messages, like for real, and I was like, I can't believe this is actually happening. I got messages of like people saying, and also sending me videos of people doing this in training, and they were like, it's working, or like, I caught my first Kendall-Cana today, and I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever. So then the real kicker was my friends started telling me that it was working, and if my friends are telling me, because they're probably the most brutally honest people in my life, if they're telling me it's working, it's working. So then some of our students, our coaches, and then when I've been traveling to teach seminars and teaching this in the last couple of months, people are like, oh my God, I've been working on this, I'm so excited. So anyway, I have enough social proof now, I feel like I can teach it. So we're gonna work on the Kendall-Cana, and it is basically the defense. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Have you guys seen or heard about this a little bit? Okay, a couple of us, thank you. Okay, that makes me so happy.
One of my teammates actually had said that he had seen you do it, and I was just like, oh, that's so cool, you know.
Would you show me, please?
That makes me so happy. Oh, and then the real kicker was my boyfriend the other day did it for the first time, and he's like really anti like YouTube jiu-jitsu, so I was like, yes, that means for sure, because he would have told me like, Kendall, that's BS, don't do that. But he got it, so it works. Okay, let's get started. No need to leave the mount until you're guaranteed a submission. Okay, why would you leave the mount? Now, I know it's really dramatic, but it's because sometimes I've lost the mount and lost the position, and then you lose the match, and it's sad. So you don't need to leave the mount, but also to do this, you don't either. So that's what I'm getting at. All right, so I'm here. I've locked up my arm triangle. I'm going to change the angle on the second one. So we all know, or if you don't know, many of us know, and if you don't know, as soon as you start trying this, you'll find out very quickly, that the most common defense to the arm triangle is answer the phone. So that means she's gonna bring her arm behind her head and she's answering the phone, talking to her mom, my mom, both of our moms, okay? Answer the phone. All right, she's here. Now, why is this so annoying? Because what did we just talk about? I need to shut off this, I need to shut off this, and I need to shut off this. As soon as Emma puts her arm behind here, what happens to her shoulder? I can no longer glue her shoulder to her carotid artery, okay? This is important to understand, not only for the Kendall-Cana, but just the arm triangle in general. This is why just squeezing when we get there doesn't work. Because as soon as she's here, her shoulder is separated from her carotid artery. I'm trying to squeeze, and I'm fighting the structure of her shoulder and her skull. Now, unless I break her shoulder, it's not gonna happen, and we don't need to be doing that. Anyway, okay, so I need to remove this. This is not gonna work for me to just keep squeezing, okay? So once I'm here, this is so easy. Step number one is I'm gonna reach up, and I know you guys can't see over there, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna reach up, my head's gonna stay down, which means my arm is going behind my head. Okay, so I'm gonna put my head down in a second. I'm gonna grab her wrist, and I'm gonna pull. Now when I pull, if she straightens her arm and I lose the grip, okay, then I just go back to my choke. So I'm gonna show you that first. And this is what I was taught. This is what I learned before as an addition to the arm triangle. So my head is down, I'm reaching for the wrist, I pull, she straightens her arm, go ahead and straighten it all the way. I lose the grip, and I just tighten this back up, boom, back of my arm triangle. That's a beautiful thing, because when I torque her shoulder like that, if she goes to defend, and I go back to the arm triangle, now the shoulder and the carotid artery space is closed again. That's awesome, I can finish my choke. So again, it's a win-win. Now, what happened in the tournament is I got a little aggressive, and I don't want to let go of the arm, so I just kept ripping it. I don't need to use that word. It's like very aggressive word. But I just keep pulling very lightly on the arm, and I guess not very lightly. Don't do it lightly. Well, you know what I mean. Do it lightly now, not in the tournament. Okay. So how many people compete here? Okay, thank God. All right, so you guys probably don't think I'm as crazy. Okay, so when I'm here, if I don't let go, I'm going to either break her shoulder or her elbow. I'm going to show you both. So when I'm here, my head is low, I reach behind my head, I'm going to pull. Now, if I don't let go and she doesn't straighten her arm, I'm going to pull, crank the shoulder. If she does straighten her arm, this is what happened in the match. I keep pulling, and I break the elbow. So a couple of things, and I'm going to change it for you guys in a second. Couple of things. One, I'm grabbing towards the end of the lever. I don't want to grab up here. I'm not going to get a good grip enough to pull. So either like wrist, or even the best thing is like the meat of the hand. If I can get that, that's golden, okay? So that's number one. The second thing is if her arm goes straight, I'm looking for the back of her elbow on the back of my head. So I'm trying to like match up her arm with my head. The same way we do with the arm on the hip, right? When we're moving an arm bar around. Same thing, but it's my head now instead of my hips. And I'm pulling against, okay?
Oh yeah, I'm a nerd. Oh my God. I forgot what it's called. I'm like, I want to see what Kendall does. She does this shit all the time. I'm like, you know what it is? Wow.
It's so fun to me.
That was epic.
So I've seen Americana before, but sometimes I go and they straighten and I'm like,
So that's what I had seen, like, oh, you pull, and then if they straighten, then you just go back to the arm triangle, because now their shoulder is tucked in again. But I just didn't want to let go. I was like, no, I'm finishing this right now. I think it was just like, you know when you don't want to finish submission in the tournament, because you're just like, I'm just going to get the opportunity to do this, so I'm going to press this shit right now. That's how it goes. Of course.
yeah, because I'm like, I saw your updates and I'm like, I can't wait to.
Anything good. Like, there's so many things we could choose to teach today, but I think the Kendall-Cana is fun because some people are like, you don't want to learn it. But we do most of that instructional is gi submissions, a lot of collar, fun, lapel stuff. It's really cool.
My art sensei, he went to that Brian business.
Really?
Really? Oh my god, that was a while ago.
Yeah, so you're like Kendall-Cana where it's the South Coast. And I'm like,
Yes.
I was like, oh, maybe we'll learn that one today.
Oh my gosh, I know there's so many. I can show you that one after too if you remind me. Yeah. Oh yeah? You want me to choke you? Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
No, because Allie was saying, she was like, has she ever arbitraged with you? I'm like, no,
But I should. They're so little. I feel like I have like a little a teddy bear. Like, oh, this is so okay, so here. I just don't want to hit them. Okay, so I'm here. I'm gonna keep a tight hold of this as I drop down here. Oh my god, when you're short, you really have to keep that tight. Yeah, and then my shoulder's gonna like slide back up underneath the chin. So that by the time I'm back up here, it's already pretty tight.
Yeah.
And then I push, and then I do the thing. So now feel my bicep, how tight that got. And then from here, I'm gonna drop my head down. And if I want to finish from the mount, I can kind of drop there. Or obviously, I can also come off here and push there.
Oh, okay.
That sucks.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different. So your pressure's more first going upwards.
Like I get underneath and then fill the space.
I like it like that.
Yeah. And then like, it's funny because I just did this in the instructional that I was teaching, so it's so fresh in my memory. But we talk about like the Kendall-Cana from the Answer the Phone.
Yeah.
But also if they do turn that way, then you go to like the reverse Kendall-Cana. So it's like the arm triangle from the back, but you can do it when they turn on their side. So if you go on your back. So if I'm trying to finish and you turn to your, and I'm like looking at back exposure, I mean there's so much. You can Ezekiel here, you can, what's it called? Yeah, I mean you can take the back, like there's so much, but you can also Ezekiel here by like grabbing the, all that stuff. But what I like to do with the reverse Katagami is coming here. And then you can finish this way. Because then if they continue to show their back, then you can finish it here as well. I'm sorry. You just make a rear naked choke. Because it's like literally like you make the rear naked choke, but then you just bring this arm like over the neck or on your shoulders fine. And you just squeeze like right there. Yeah.
And then if I'm pushing, do I keep my head
So right
down?
here, yeah, you can push on her head and spider walk this way. Yes, nice. Sometimes I'll grab the lat there too, just to kind of like make sure everything's good. Put your shoulder under the chin all the way. Yeah, there you go. Those little arms. So now make a gable grip here. Yeah, and then from here, as you're finishing, you'll kind of slide to your right hip and push with your head. Yeah. Super tight, right?
It's a real lesson.
It's like you melt. It's like cement getting.
All right.
Okay.
Camera, eyes open. Eyes open. 1, 2, 3.
Where's your brain?
I got my ass beat, but it's great. It's a dream, man.
Her first day of black belt training, right? Training live. Yeah.
First day training live.
Here at Girls In Gis, lots of women.
sometimes too, it's like, you don't really have the option. Like, I remember my friend Sula one time, this quote went kind of viral. She was like, there's not enough of us to be, or wait, there's too few of us to be mean, or like there's, not enough of us to not be nice, or something like that. It was just like, yeah, there's not enough of us. Like, you better just be friends. Like, it's out of scarcity. But it's true. I think we're gonna do one more round and then we're kind of wrapping it up. I don't know if you're...
We can do a long one. I just want to ask you what's going on.
Yeah, you're good. What was the question?
Oh, okay, so I'm in my blue belt journey.
Yes.
And blue belt blues is real.
Yeah.
Like really real. And I just, I don't know, any advice that like I can share to our blue belt
there's a
crew
lot
over
of
there?
pieces of it. I mean, one, I think, is just making sure that you actually are committing to building a game plan for yourself. And like, we all go to class and learn what the teacher is teaching, and we are in a class environment where they're trying to teach for, 300 people sometimes. So it just depends on like how much detail they're able to go into and how they can specify things for certain people. So they're teaching, like, I believe that an instructor's job is to teach a lot of different jiu-jitsu, to give us a lot of different ideas and to expose us to a lot of jiu-jitsu. And then our jobs as students, myself, you, is our job to decide where we want to take our jiu-jitsu. So have that like autonomy and self-leadership to get excited about the path we want to go down with jiu-jitsu. So it's like we learn a lot of stuff, and then what are we going to do with it? So I think sometimes the blue belt blues, purple belt, brown, black belt blues, like we have all the blues, like there's going to be plateaus. But if we can decide on a path we want to go down as far as our game plan, and then come into jiu-jitsu with very specific intention and discipline around trying something new, the reason that we get blue, in my experience, is because I don't know if I'm getting better. And I'm just kind of like,
That's how I feel.
yeah,
I
like
like that.
I'm going in, I'm training hard, I'm getting my ass kicked, and I'm like, I know I'm getting tougher, but like, am I actually getting better? It's hard to feel motivated if I don't know. So it's hard to know if you're getting better unless you have specific things that you're trying to measure. And if you're only trying to measure against who's tapping out who, we're all going like this all the time. So it's not really an accurate measurement anyway, it's depressing. So for me, I find like to stay out of the blues or the plateaus, I want to have that feeling at the roller coaster where it's like whoosh and you go down. That's like motivation, momentum. It's like feels good. For me, I build that through having discipline and intention around my training. So what does that mean tangibly? It's like if you decide, okay, for 6 weeks, I know like here's my game plan. I want to get better at this thing that's going to lead me to the back and this choke, just for example. So I start on my feet and I get there. What in between those things am I missing right now? What thing's a little weak for me right now? And you can know that you're going to change your game plan in the future. So there's no wrong or right. It's just pick something. And then when you go into training every single day, you take the class, you know what the instructor's doing. But anytime you can magnetize yourself back to that position to work on that thing, then you actually have data, like at the end of the day or the end of the week, like, did I get better at XYZ this week? And then you can start to feel that like momentum, exciting feeling, because you have the self-esteem boost of like, I chose something to do, I had the integrity to do what I said I was going to do, and I had some problem areas that didn't go so well, I have better questions to ask, and some of it also worked. And then by the end of the week, you're like, I got better this week, and then you do it again. And so it doesn't like, for me, I don't ever avoid ever having plateaus, but at any time I plug in my intention and discipline around having something to focus on to get better at, which if you think about it, like you go to the NFL, these athletes have 10 different coaches telling you what to do all the time. So it's easy. For us, we have one coach. It's not anti-coaches. It's the same in our gyms. We teach curriculum. We have 300-400 people on the mats. Like, we don't have the luxury of having a pinpointed personal coach, and maybe you do privates every day, that's a little different. But like, this is something I work with a lot with my clients online, where it's like they're missing that personalization, and I find, look, I don't have some magic answer. I'm just gonna help you figure out what I had to do for myself, which was to become my own best coach. So then it's not so complicated?
It's not so complicated.
It's not.
Which
Yes.
is nice, because I think my problem is that I want to be the best that I can possibly be, but it's like a waterfall of just consuming like a whole bunch of moves all at once, and I'm just like, whoa, I haven't even like finished learning passing, you know what I mean? And it just like little things like that where I'm like, I'm definitely smaller in my gym, so like obviously getting smashed and just like surviving has been like the goal.
Yes,
and I'm like, okay, but what about all the awesome passing? And I know that passing works when you do it right and all this other stuff. So it's been weird.
Like when you're thinking about having a game plan and setting up how you want to train and what you want to get better at when, also adjust. It's just so funny. This is so on my mind because I literally just filmed an instructional with Fanatics. Like we just did a whole so it's just fresh on my mind. So I have a lot to say. When do I not have a lot to say? Let's be honest.
Michelle knows. She's like, all I do is film this bitch talk. 24/7.
Good, because we want to listen. We need this.
Don't boost my ego too much. No, but literally, we just filmed an instruction on this, and one of the biggest things we talk about is how to change your training based on your training partner's sizes and stuff. So it's like when you're learning brand new skills, don't go like get with like me or Danny and be like, oh, this is like day one, I'm gonna try something new on someone bigger and more experienced. Like, no, like with us, it's like, you know, go back to the best things you're already good at, like survival mode, do your things, and then with someone who's closer to your size or not as experienced, like now you're working up to building the new skills, and then you slowly build up to doing it with us.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it.
It's actually so
Like,
not even brilliant at all.
I'm like the one I'm like, let me try this run pass, let's do this. And then it's just like, oh, no, this is it. Fetal position.
What's up, guys? Good morning. It's Thursday here at Six Flags La Quinta, and today's gonna be fun. It's just a big training day. We're gonna do some nogi. We got these guys going to ADCC trials this weekend, so a little bit lighter training, which means I get to play and do a lot of fun things, so I'm excited about that. We're gonna get a good lift in. I'm gonna show you guys some of my favorite supplements today, and I'm also in the middle of moving. And I'm also in the middle of changing some business stuff. So you could say that we're in a little bit of a tornado, but we're gonna have a lot of fun talking about it, and I'll show you what goes on in this little brain of mine as we go through the day. All right, see you on the mats. Drags and what? Just arm drags?
Fighting, arm drags.
Ahmed Draghi.
Ahmed
Draghi.
I'll try now.
How do you say arm drag in Portuguese?
Ahmed Draghi.
Arm drag.
Well, she's from the south, so she says her.
Arm
The north.
draggy.
Carotid artery. Ahmed.
Cause well,
If you say it's like the real accent, like army drag.
yeah.
Ahmed Draghi. Ahmed Draghi. Porra.
Army drag.
It's going back and forth.
Alternating.
That's what back and forth usually means, if you're wondering. Don't start slapping. That's not sparring. No. Let's be clear. I think it's gonna be, yeah, I'm just adjusting my step. Let me try it again.
I think you should spin them here. And then that way when you go to face me, I can like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's fine. I'm just trying to see if I want to back up first at all. Like you were kind of moving. But you're not coming in, you're coming here?
Yeah. I'm doing like the push-pull. I think Kevin actually taught that.
Okay, yeah, he did.
Frenchie sport.
Don't say that. We don't speak that name around here. But I think it's just because we've been doing these little speedy drills, fast drilling. 168 max heart rate. I got my whoopee right here. People always ask me like, how can you wear a whoop band while you're training? And it's like, well, you don't. You get a sleeve that's sold by Whoop and you pop it in there. And that's why it's like the only training device I've ever been able to use for jiu-jitsu, because it has this. So, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble.
To get my heel. Like people can still do it, but it's much harder from here. Okay, I'm going to be using this thumb and trying to free the leg always and trying to get my knee out here. because once I can touch this knee on the floor, it's going to be really hard for him to keep attacking that leg from here. And I can either just keep rotating and get my hamstring on his leg, or my foot on his hamstring and pull my leg out. Or some of you more fancy people, you can take this leg over and you can just start looking for the back. So going back to the knee bar. So if I'm like here, and you should do somewhere you just finish it, just so you can get like a feeling, like Brian Mendez likes to do this a lot. So go back up. So one is like the prevention. He wants my leg here and like connected. So as soon as he goes back and he starts doing it, this foot's gonna move. And I'm just gonna turn a little bit on my side. So now I'm in like kind of a snatch half guard, but I can move my head, I can get my frames back inside, and I can get out of there. If he does catch the leg a little bit more, here, this way, and he starts sitting back and going for it, I need this leg. So I can pull this leg here, and I can start trying to turn this way. Even if like he's here and I'm like I sat up with him and go back like you're gonna extend on it, squeeze your knee. Yeah, if he's like, it's starting to, let's turn this a little more. If it's here and he's getting pretty tight, like still try to pull this leg open, even if it's just one hand right away, and then now I start to form my foot. So, you know, if they're full of steroids, this still might not be that great, but I would try to, at least I have a little better angle on my knee here because my foot's turned in. Okay, now if I start to turn all the way in, I'm vulnerable to the heel hook. So that's why I need to keep my toes pointed because it's just start switching right now. Okay, and then my heel goes to his hip. Then from here I can start working on posting, starting to clear this leg all the way out, and then put my knee on the floor. And then here if I want to step over and start looking for a bolo, I can, or I can just turn and get my foot on the hamstring and then take my foot out. That's okay, guys, 1, 2.
Here. Yeah, immediately coming this way. It's just weird because your feet are here. Like I feel like I have to put my foot back in. And then I'm always just coming this way. And then if I can come here, I will. Preferably have double unders for your arms so I don't pinch your skin.
No, Katagatame.
Well, I don't really like it as much, but okay. Well, I do like the Katagatame, but I'm never going to not take double unders if I have double unders. I was just trying not to pinch your skin.
Me, I like to always control like both of the heels, but sometimes like I feel like he's turning a little bit to this side, so this is the easier side that it's going to be for me to fall and start to attack this leg. And then sometimes when I'm in this side, like it's a little easier for me to fall to this side and attack this leg. So that will change a little bit. I think the biggest thing is always as soon as you feel your leg getting separated, you're always trying to create that like connection here, and that will solve a lot of things. If they start to get past that, it just gets really crazy. Okay, you Jake. Do you have any specific questions on like ankle lock or? You're pretty good. So, what about you with heel hook?
Do you know which way to turn for defense?
Just the like, but I don't know what I do if the person's like just move, like roll with my.
You know,
Like which way to roll to escape?
Yeah.
One on the inside and then one on the outside.
On the outside when the person's like lock and
She's doing ADCC rules for the first time, so we're having to go over heel hooks because she's like a badass pro belt, but not like a heel hook girl. She just came from Brazil, and she's a pro belt, so they don't even do leg locks. So today is like deep diving on some defense since they're doing the trials in the IDCC Open this weekend. Like, don't get your leg broke. Like, know which way to turn, like the kind of basic stuff that we learn when we start heel hooks. So it's always good to review though. Even me, like getting back into the ADCC training vibe, which what I'm starting to get back into now. It's just good to kind of be super fresh in all these areas. be honest about what we're doing right now. Bitch, you better hope I never call you man. I don't mean that the way I sing it, okay? I sing it with more intensity than I mean in my heart. I like doing Bodylock passing drills because like one of my most sad losses ever that I had was the Who's Number One Championships. I was in the finals with Rafaela, and we were in, I think the match was 20 minutes. For the finals of that, it was like when we had the giant bracket, like I had beaten Anna Carolina Baby that day, had beaten Erin, I can't think of her last name right now. Anyway, she's awesome, she's amazing. She doesn't compete that much anymore. She's amazing though. She had beaten like Hoffa, the Who's Number One before that. I mean, she was sick. Erin Harpy. Harp or Harpy? Anyway, so I had a great tournament, and I was like 18 minutes, I think, or 16 or 18 minutes into the match with Hoffa, and I felt like I'd won most of the exchanges, like I won most of the takedowns, the scrambles. I'd gotten to pretty like dominant positions and was pushing the pace, and then this was so funny because looking back, like I didn't even know how to bodylock pass at the time. It was so weird, like, but I ended up in a bodylock pass, and I think I was getting like paranoid that I wasn't like convincing enough as far as the fight goes, or like I was really focused on winning. Like I wasn't really focused on the fight. I was focused on like how can I win? So I was like really rushing the pass, and I was in a bodylock pass, and I started to get past. I was like in half guard smashing, and I left my head on the wrong side, and I got guillotined. And it was so sad, so it was super tight, and it was like 18 minutes, and man, I felt like I was really winning the match, and then that happened. I was so devastated, so I took second in the championships. That it was like big prize money too. I think $30K for the winner and $15K for second place. Definitely at that time, that was the most I'd made for fighting. But I remember like later on, Gordan telling me in the back like about the position. He was like, yeah, like you just need to leave your head on that side. Like, and he was going over the tech. And in my mind, I was like, man, I've never even like trained bodylock passing. I don't even know what happened. And that I like saw red and just went for it. But anyway, so now I like training bodylock passing. So I'm like, no, I'll never leave my head on that side. So definitely learned a lot from that match for sure.
Armbar. Oh, Jesus. Step on my foot.
Sorry.
Okay.
You just step on my foot and give him a mapper, and then go win.
Come here.
All right, so we got a pretty good score today, 13.5. My max heart rate was 178, average 131, burned 543 calories, like hour 45 minutes. But it depends, like if I have a really intense sparring day, it'll be like way more crazy, like 17, 18, like sometimes more. But today was more like playing. So we did a lot of drills, had a lot of fun, and then just did a little bit of positional training. The guys are competing this weekend, and then for me it was like a lighter day as well. So it kind of worked out for us to just more like play. And you'll notice like Chris always says games and stuff too. So like we describe training as games all the time because it is supposed to be fun, like it's supposed to be play. But anyway, Whoop is great because I feel like it's definitely the only trainer I've ever used that I could use during jiu-jitsu and combat sports. There's the ones where you can put around your chest and like different versions, but those always hurt me. Like this is the only thing I never noticed. So So I normally wear it as a bracelet, obviously, but then when I do training, I have this. They have black ones too that are not like green to go out so much, but they have like all kinds of new stuff now too. They have sports bras that have a spot for it that I do wear sometimes now. The guys, they have boxers, and those work really well where you can pop the whoop into it and wear it like that, so you kind of can choose between different options. But I think that's why whoop is so popular in jiu-jitsu, because it's like the only thing that we can use, and then you get all your data. And then like when I sleep tonight, it'll show like my recovery versus my strain, and then it makes recommendations for my training as I go on tomorrow. But I've used whoop for like, I don't know, 4+ years now, like pay for it with my own money, because it literally teaches me so much about like my body and what my strain should be like, what my like, how much I should push it that day, when I should prioritize sleep, you know, because maybe it tells me that I'm, you know, close to being sick, things like that. And then sometimes you push past it anyway and do what you want to do, but most of the time I feel like if I consistently listen to this thing more, I train more in general and I stay healthier more in general too. We're going to get Sprout sandwiches, because basically any day where like schedules are back to back to back and we don't leave time to cook, Sprout sandwiches are the best.
I feel healthier if I get my white bread from Sprouts.
The new one? Okay. So that house, I was planning on going back there because I thought we needed to shower and stuff. So yeah, we are doing that. Add bacon. Chris goes, oh, I have to go check on Ninja if I'm not back in time to pay, and just silently pulls out his wallet and goes. So we all just felt like I would be a girl's girl right now and just hand out this credit card information if you need to buy a little treat, like I do today. So let's see.
Those fuckers.
That's the thing about
Did you get bread too?
Huh?
Or you just got that?
No, I just got that.
Get bread later?
I haven't thought about it too much yet. That's the thing about Sprouts is I swear I always add on things like bacon and avocado and double meat, and they never up the price. I don't know if that's like a fuck the system kind of a thing from the employees, or if they just like me like that. Wait, is this mine? We're gonna find out. Chris and I are similar, so ooh, got some mustard. We love that. Wait a second. There is tomato on here, and I got, wow, oh God, this is like really, there's a lot of mustard happening. Chris, I think they did it bad again.
What do you mean?
Like there's no bacon on here. And there's a lot of mayo and mustard. This is such a sad wait, I don't, no. Why would I have opened yours and left mine over there?
Well, I don't know, they'd say the same thing.
Okay, but hold on, let's try again.
This has vegetables.
But
Dude,
they put double
really
meat.
fucked it up because yours is double meat with no veggies, and mine had veggies.
So what's the solution? You're just gonna eat one of these?
No, just
You guys should trade one.
here, just hand it over, and I'm gonna switch the lettuce.
Frankenstein it.
Yeah. This is really, oh, there is bacon. Okay, I stand
Yeah.
corrected. I'm just being a little brat. Okay, we're gonna, did you call it Frankensteining it? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do a little project here. Hold on.
I love how Chris is just gonna let you. He's like, go ahead.
Yeah, he basically let me do whatever I want. Okay, we're not gonna complain about our first world problems. We are just going to switch over the lettuce and the onion, and you don't want tomato, right? Taking that off. I don't want double tomato though. That's a little much. I don't need double tomatoes. That's a little too extra for me. Okay, got my lettuce. Let's put Chris's Sammy back together. Yeah, because yours has roast beef and ham. Mm-hmm. Mine does not. But it's all okay. The sun will come out tomorrow. Okay. Boom. Now, we're gonna do some dissecting of this guy. All right. Got some lettuce. Boom. She's looking better already. No, we don't need extra tomato, but I will take that onion. Onions are really good for you, by the way. Pretty sure they're classified as a superfood, and if they're not, they should be. Okay. But I will say, the mayo and mustard on mine is really popping. Okay, we're gonna put Chris's sandwich back together. You know, that's the thing about Sprouts. Okay, there you go. That's your situation. is like it's a little unpredictable because sometimes you get the best sandwich you've ever had in your life, and then every once in a while you get one that's kind of messed up, and you're like, that was really disappointing. But they're pretty good.
I'm gonna refuse to use that thing.
The paper?
I gotta talk to a human every time now.
Yeah. All right, let's see. It usually tastes really good though.
What do we think after building it?
Much better from rebuilding the sandwich.
What do you score it?
6.5 out of 10. Usually it's closer to like an 8.5, 9, but today it was a little behind like what we normally would get. But that's okay. Still happy with it. And I got kombucha, so can't complain at all. Okay, so Jocko has an amazing supplement line. I take a lot of them. I do the Good Night, I do the Joint Health, but this, my precious baby, is my favorite supplement that they make because it is like everything all in one. And the reason this is cool is a brand new pack, so I'm gonna show you guys opening it. I gotta pull this bad boy out because then I put this in my supplement cabinet and I just take a pack out each day. The great thing about this is that I can also take this with me when I travel. So Time War is an anti-aging daily matrix, but what we'll see is there's a mineral blend in here, there's a vitamin blend in here, there's an age and cellular health blend, and there's an adaptogen stress support, that's hard to say, adaptogen stress support. So there's stuff in here like pomegranate whole extract, we have PQQ, there's an NAD3, boron, vitamin K2, and then of course like your regular vitamin like rundown that you're gonna wanna have. So this is the best though because I am always feeling like I don't want to be trying to take things from 7 different bottles in the morning, and then this is just the one thing that I can pull out. So when I travel, I actually don't travel with like all of my supplements. I just take this and keep it simple. So I finished training and today I'm gonna do something I never thought I would do on camera, but I have to go switch to a tank top right now and I realized I didn't shape my armpits. And I will say that I've been wanting to talk about this for a little while, about how smooth my skin gets when I use this Mil Usos exfoliating glove. So Mil Usos is great because there's 3 steps to like any of the skincare that I do. I exfoliate, I use the cleanser, and then I use the balm, and that's it. What I didn't realize is how great this would be for shaving as well. So I'm gonna show you guys what I do. So I'm gonna wet the glove and I'm just gonna do little circular motions the same way I would do on my face. But again, I really like it because it doesn't irritate my skin. Honestly, I did like a couple tiny little swipes of my razor and without even looking, like I was looking in the camera, and we are completely smooth, which I'm very happy about.
What a go.
Jocko hydration packs with me all the time before training or throughout training. Especially on days with like more than one training session. Necessity. So today
we're going to do some meathead bodybuilding stuff because performance in the weight room has nothing to do with jiu-jitsu. You can be so good in the weight room and still suck at jiu-jitsu.
Oh, that's true.
We're just gonna look really buff and strong. Psychological warfare 101.
Yeah, I started lifting with Chris before 80cc in 2022 because when my back was super injured, I felt like I could not figure out a way to not only heal my back, but also get stronger. Like I felt like I either had to rest and do nothing, or, well, that was really my only option, or lift and get hurt. And so we started training together then. That was actually like before we were like together. That was how he slid in the out of the friend zone.
She's gonna talk it all up, and then we're just gonna do meathead stuff like curls.
No.
He's really helped me.
No, well, it is true though. It's how he got out of the friend zone, was helping me heal my back.
I actually do have one thing. I didn't really want to warm up, but I'll have you do one thing that's pretty good. Just do like 5 of these first. Ooh, I got a cramp already. It's not a good sign.
This one's out too?
What do you mean?
It's forward, I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to move thoracic.
Just pretend you're John Wick and you're like... Yeah, you gotta make the sounds too when you do it.
What a cute little couple move.
I know, it's gonna get weird too in a second.
And tell the people what this is doing. Use your science.
It's called a serratus slide.
Okay.
It's gonna help develop serratus anterior, one of your scapular abductors. We just start calling stuff after a while instead of sciencey language.
Your clients probably won't remember the science anyway, so what's the point?
No, they don't give a shit.
I love doing those. These actually really help my shoulder get fixed a lot.
Yeah.
That's one
I
of the
only
things.
do them to get buff.
That's one of the things too. When I started working out with Chris, I did a lot less of like massage, cryo, this, that, because most of the stuff that I needed to do was just movement that I didn't feel like doing.
I'm just trying to look how like the roid heads have like massive posterior delts. I just want to look like I might be roiding.
That's not what you tell me when I have an injury. Yeah, Chris is very, like, I am like a circuit girl. I like to like be pouring sweat when I train. And so, I don't know what it was, not that long ago, but the other day, or a couple weeks ago, I was lifting and we were lifting at the same time and he was doing like his lift where he like doesn't, it's like he's not even sweating. I'm like, how? And then I'm like pouring sweat. And what did you say? Like you look, every time I work out, it looks like I did jujitsu. Like it's like a training session.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm really just here to only get strong.
I already
Like, I don't
do
need to be doing-
jujitsu, so I don't want to do jujitsu with weights.
Yeah, there's that. Depends on the day though. And also like like if I didn't do jujitsu that day, I might do like more intense lift like that. Am I only keeping my pinkies out or turning this way?
You can do either, but I think pinky up is better.
Pinky up, baby. But yeah, so I'll do like more intense style like that. But if it's a day that I train jiu-jitsu like today, then definitely is more slow and just like strength based.
Incline bench.
This is like what like the monkey thing at the Chinese restaurants. I did almost hit you in the head with that if you were wondering. This is the most overlooked.
Yeah, I was just kind of kidding.
Do you want me to spot you like where I sit on you like that and like all those memes? Because I could do that for the camera.
As long as there's a paywall.
Honestly, there's kids here, so maybe not. Encouragement is nice. Like, don't get me wrong. I like, you know, oh, you're doing like, but yelling, like straight up yelling in his ear, I'd be like, sorry, I can't.
Now that Michelle's watching me, I'm gonna have to lift heavy weights so she doesn't.
I think, I don't know what I should
lose respect
start
for me.
with these 35s. Feels heavier than I thought it was gonna feel. That's why.
For sure.
Disappointed. Actually, can you take my rings from me? The metal on metal. I trust that they would be safe, but it's not comfortable. Ugh. How many did you do, like 8?
Yeah.
Oh my. This is when the yelling starts. Make your mother proud. I just want to make sure you don't cut out any of the grunting from the videos. That's what we're here for. We're here for the, oh, goodness. As soon as I start pressing anything, I'm just like, I have testosterone in my veins. It's great. Okay. We're gonna do like 3 of this?
I'll do one more. That's
So
already
2.
asking a lot.
No, that's 3.
Yeah.
That's another
Well,
thing.
I'll really do like 2 sets.
But
I'll
one
do a
was
warm-up
warm-up.
set, yeah.
That's another thing is I feel like I almost never get a straight answer when I ask Chris a question. And it's weird because he answers so like assuredly, like he's very decisive, but I'm like, I asked a different question than what you just answered. Like that doesn't make, or I'll say, oh, should we do this or this? Yes. I'm like, what the hell is yes? Yes to what? I gave you like 3 options. But Jason experiences it too, and we bond over it, so I don't feel so alone.
What's up, Michael? Have you met my girlfriend Kendall before? Oh,
Hi.
it's Kendall.
Nice to meet you, Kendall.
Yeah, I've heard lovely things about you.
Oh yeah, he's so sweet. You know what? It's a good sign. Everyone I meet says that. So either he has everyone running like some kind of op to cover, or he actually does it.
Gotta maintain appearances.
Yeah. Well, it's the congruency's there. So that's
Yeah, it's a good sign.
matches, yeah.
That's good.
No, we're not money laundering and funneling drugs. She's great.
Good start.
Yeah.
It's good. I like the alignment.
How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
Good.
Can we
they work out
introduce
here.
you to my vlog right here? Can you tell us why you're here? Well, tell us about your life. Who are you? Why do you have a backwards hat?
Why do you have a backwards hat?
I've been training with Chris for a long time. Took a few-year break to have some kids, but now I've been back and yeah, this is it. This is, my dojo is my Taekwondo master.
Oh God. He also taught. Well, I've only taken one lesson. I need to take more, but he teaches golf. He's
Yeah, I like
a
that I
killer
graduated.
golfer. He's
I
my
like that
golf
I graduated
guy.
from sensei to
He's
master.
amazing. He's like the only fun golf person I've
that's
ever
my
met.
master.
I'm gonna be okay. It's the arm part that hurts my feelings.
Oh, I just kind of spiral my arms. You like this?
What? Shut the fuck up. I didn't mean to say a cuss word in front of the kids.
That's okay. They're not paying attention to much. Part of it is just that you can support a little bit more when you're like moving your hands through different angles, so you can like load the shoulders more.
Okay.
Wow, jeez.
Wow. Just.
No, that's what that felt like.
Just jacked. You know? Jacked. One of Chris's best qualities is very confident.
Confidence.
Never feels bad about himself, ever. And we love that.
Well, repetition is confidence, and I got a lot of repetition.
That is true. It's true though. No one wants to be with, sounds mean, but it's just not. Like, you don't want to be with a partner who's insecure and you're feeling like you have to lift them up all the time. Everyone goes through stuff, so it's like you support your people when they go through things, but as far as like insecurity as like your level base, I can't. Because I have my own stuff. I can't be like constantly.
I did 30.
30?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to 30.
All right, it's a wrap.
That's it?
That's it.
I'm gonna do some lower stuff because I
That's
think
okay.
I need to get more jacked.
Yeah.
Chris is about to drive to Vegas. You're just too jacked? Can't do more, you might pop out of your shirt.
We blasted our glutes yesterday, so today I think I'm good.
Did you?
I wasn't gonna work out actually. I was like, oh, I forgot
He
about
just
this.
did this for me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's okay. Got a little pump.
Thank you very much.
Little coaching workout. Just do
Thanks.
upper body, you know, just for when you're holding the coffee.
That's right. That's good.
Beautiful. All right. I'll see ya when I see ya.
Don't be such a creep. It's like, you know, when you have a coach that like, you see and they're like too touchy-feely and they're like, all right, so like, I'll see you next time. And you're like, get your grimy little grubby hands off of me, please.
Gotta head out.
You're leaving right now?
Yes, ma'am.
That's so lame.
Don't worry, you're gonna win the world.
Yep.
Yeah. Win
Not the worlds. Worlds.
That's in May.
Worlds.
The
Worlds.
Oh, worlds.
All the
Not world
worlds.
championships.
All right. See ya. Love you.
Okay. Text me when
Be
you
good.
get there. So every day is a little different with lifting. Like I was saying, if I do like really intense jiu-jitsu that day and I am lifting on that day too, it'll be more chill. We might focus on like specific upper push or upper pull on days, or legs obviously, on days that but usually I don't match like a leg focused day to an intense jiu-jitsu day. But if it's a less intense jiu-jitsu day or I didn't train jiu-jitsu that day, especially if my jiu-jitsu throughout the week is lighter in general, I'll do more of a full body work. And so typically when I do full body work, my circuits are kind of split into push and legs or pull and and legs, and I'm always incorporating, like, so it's half upper, half lower, and then I always do a lot of core and like different warm-up stuff and different mobility as well. But then I'll be like sweaty and it'll be crazy, a lot of dynamic, different kinds of stuff. But today we had tough, jiu-jitsu training or like high intensity jiu-jitsu training, and then a lift that was lighter, that was upper body push only. And again, it depends on my goals too. So like if it's a time where I'm really focusing on jiu-jitsu, my lifting and more volume with jiu-jitsu, my lifting will look more like this. We keep it like lower volume, lower intensity. But if it's a time where jiu-jitsu is not quite at the center stage, the way that it wasn't, like, I would say like in the last couple months, my lifts were a lot more intense, but now as I'm gearing up to get ready for like an ADCC camp later in the summer, my lifting will look a little bit more like this, so that most of my energy can be geared towards being on the mat. So everything that I'm doing is always trying to like balance and integrate, and we want one thing to support the other. So if my jiu-jitsu is high, my lifting is trying to support it. So that's basically what we did today. So that was like a little bit of a look into what a more chill workout looks like. But I think probably tomorrow or the next day, since I'm not training jiu-jitsu tomorrow and the next day, we're gonna get some more circuit stuff in, because I like the feeling of like sweating and feeling like a badass, like, feels good. I'm like watching my whoop on the screen, it's going up and up and up. But I will definitely have some fatigue in my shoulders later in the day and my chest later in the day from what we just did. So always a fun time. I think over the last couple of years, just learning more about my body and learning more about lifting and finding the reasons like why I was doing certain things, and studying a lot of stuff with Chris, and then also doing my own study on my own, because he has a bunch of certifications. He just doesn't talk about them. He says a bunch of science stuff and then whatever. Anyway, the point is that I've done work with a bunch of different coaches and done my own studies as well. And then of course I'm my own best project, and I also work on things with my clients. And I found that honestly, there's so many ways to move your body and work out that are great. And once you find what feels best for you, not necessarily just for your physical body, but also for your mental, like what you feel most excited to keep doing, and also what supports your other goals, it's really hard to go wrong. As long as you learn how to move safely and make consistent progress over a long period of time, there's so much experimenting that can be done. And that's why it's like, I don't believe in a perfect lifting program. I believe in becoming your own best coach. And when you become your own best coach, then the world kind of opens up and things get a lot more fun, because it's not so closed-minded anymore. You get to experiment and have fun, and that's really all it is. We get one body. So if we take, our entire lifetime to experiment with that body and to build it up and to view it as our own best project, then it gets to be really fun.
Complication.